the game 4 of
On
4
the Discord. Oh no.
of a game I like to call a very short kind of novella, if you will, called Satellite of Love. And all of that will become relatively apparent soon. But yes, here we go. And I know we are waiting on maybe one, if not two, people to join us. But we are just kind of hanging out, talking pop culture as we like to do. And I promise you we won't go into any old 70s or 80s pop culture today. We'll reserve that for another time. But one day you will hear our entire it'll be a whole podcast. It'll be a whole stream just about all of the spin-offs of Happy Days, but that's for another time. But let's see. We are streaming now. I'm going to go ahead and tweet out that we are doing so that anyone who wishes to be a part of this can do so.
Did you guys get hammered with rain this last couple hours?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought you were just gonna ask, did you guys just get hammered?
Yeah, me too, Betty. Just finished a Magnum.
Nothing like a Monday night.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm quiet. You probably are hearing my keyboard as I'm typing away. 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 My keyboard. So how are we all today?
Very good.
How are we all today?
Good Monday. Very good.
Travis,
Good Monday.
did
Very
you get
good.
my message regarding the?
Very good.
So next week, maybe we will start. So next week, maybe back up on Percy. Have you considered Percy? Have you considered?
Yeah, I've already got my character ready. 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 Yeah, I've already got my character ready.
Right, let's see. 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 Right.
Well, Travis, what are you thinking of? Travis, what are you thinking of playing next week? Travis, what are you thinking of playing next week? Travis, what are you thinking of playing next week? Gets Yankee or gets Sarai? Gets Yankee or gets Sarai? Gets
Yankee, aggressive ones.
Yeah,
Aggressive ones.
Yeah, those
Aggressive
jerks.
ones. Yeah.
They're great.
Aggressive ones. Yeah.
They're great.
Aggressive ones. Yeah.
They're great.
Did they have a playable?
Great.
Did they have a playable? Did they have a playable? Did they have a?
The video game? I think so because like I don't think so because like a whole lot of like I don't think so because like a whole lot of like I don't think so because like they're really I don't think so because they're really playing hard on the really playing hard on the playable races like screenshots from people who've been testing it screenshots from their people who've been testing it screenshots so it seems like it I think so it seems like it I think so it seems like it
yeah, like there's so many cool things that have kind of come out of
like
the
there's so many
video games from the 90s. Like I think people don't really understand how people don't really understand things how have become from having very well depicted in the Planescape setting, but then from the game Planescape format, but then there's like a couple of NPCs there that's really kind of catapulted me there. That's really love the conscious kind of from there. They just really love the conscious kind of there's a lot of the stuff coming out of the Baldur's Gate games. Also, a lot of the stuff coming out of the Baldur's Gate games. There's also a lot of stuff going on, and like all the way up in Endor's Hill, like all the way up in Endor's Hill, can't talk. Like all the Descent into Endor's Hill, can't talk. Like all the Descent into Endor's Hill, can't talk. Like all Descent.
Yeah, well, you know, if you got something that's yeah, well, you know, if you got something that's yeah, well, you know, if you got something that's yeah, well, you know, if you got something that's yeah, well, you know, if you got something that's yeah, well, you know, if you got something that's why I was so excited when they were coming out. That's why I was so excited when they were coming out. Because even though I had never played D&D, at some point I had read about a little bit about Eberron, and they had these mechanical creatures that were created for war and everything. And I was like, I want to play a Warforged someday.
And you did, and it sounds like you will.
Yeah. I'm yeah. The thing about like Jen and I were saying are like, I this is a character that I wanted to play for a while, but it's a fighter, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss those spell slots. So I might still end up changing it. I don't know. You know me. I don't make decisions until the very last moment.
I mean, sometimes that's a good way to make characters too. Just wait until the very last minute and then just throw something together.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yes.
When I first hopped on, it was when you guys were finishing up talking about kind of filling in the gaps and the prequels and Rogue One and whatnot. I'm literally listening to a podcast about these people's view through of the Clone Wars animated series. It's called The Civilized Age, and it's basically with a lot of the people from the Waypoint podcast, which I dig, and that's essentially a bunch of the Vice Games journalists. And it's dope. Like, I love that series. I think it's some of the best Star Wars storytelling out there.
Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely some stinkers. Like when they stick Jar Jar back in there, and you've got a C-3PO centric episode, or
those were so bad.
Yeah. I mean, some of what's going on in the episode is interesting, but they've served their purpose. But like the series as a whole, and like I'm really glad a buddy of mine turned me on to that, and I was like, no, you need to go through and finish watching these because it's going to be worth it.
That's exactly what happened to me. I caught it years after it had even concluded. And you're right. Some of the, because they do everything in like 2 or 3 episode story arcs.
Yeah.
And for every one that's like a stupid, Battle Droid and General Grievous centric arc, there's like dope ones with some of the other Jedi, or they just go into Anakin storytelling a lot better. It clears up the madness that was the prequels, and you have people like it gets dark and like really cool. Like you really see what a lightsaber would really do. It's like what Logan did with Wolverine's claws. Everybody was waiting for with bated breath, and then how violent these instruments of destruction could actually be. Like people are force snapping heads and whatnot.
Yeah, and especially the last season. Like I think that is like some of the best. Like when it gets like it's coming. Order 66 is right around the corner, and they're just taking that last like what is it like 12 episodes, and just like wrapping it all up, and it's dark, and everybody walks away defeated, but you're like, oh, this was so good.
Yeah, the whole Night Sisters and the Darth Maul and Savage Opress story arcs were just really cool.
Yeah,
Sith Lord and whatnot.
So they just recently came out with a new series called The Bad Batch. I don't know if you guys have. I'm only partway into one episode because my free time is just so little, but I'm liking what I see so far. It's striking a really good tone. It does seem like it's more of a serious kind of approach, and maybe not like. I think I'm worried anymore that when like anything Star Wars comes out is that it might just be like too like kidified or like too silly. And that it's like if it's going to be a cartoon that there's like a chance that it might just be like kind of goofball, but they seem to really be taking it seriously, and not that they can't do that, but I'm glad that they're kind of doing the whole these are oddball clone troopers. Like they could have taken that into a goofy direction. I'm glad they did, because it's a really cool thing to explore, and that they've done before. It feels a lot like Republic Commando, but I'm definitely digging it so far.
Yeah, and that they were introduced in the final season of Clone Wars. They had I think they took up like the first half of the final season, and where you get introduced to them, and it's a good introduction to a bunch of characters that I was like, when I found out they were doing that as its own spinoff, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, that I could see that makes sense. And I think that first episode, when you finish it, it's pretty satisfying.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have most of the people we're going to have, I believe. And I'm pretty sure Luke will join us, intermittently as he does, which is all good. Is anyone willing to do just a brief recap? If not, I can. We're, us people in education have been like ridiculously busy. And I know Jen usually does that, and I'm absolving her of her duties because we're kind of dealing with all kinds of educational stuff as the school year is winding down. So no worries to be had there. But of the rest of you, is anyone willing to do the recap?
I'm never very good at it. I can't remember the exact details that you throw in there.
No worries whatsoever. So very briefly, last game you had managed to get away from the city of St. Louis, or what used to be St. Louis, with Tevis. He had basically described to you, hey, I need to go take care of this thing with these satellites, because I existed before the cataclysm that brought the rifts had even come about. B, someone that I really loved got lost in the kind of satellite neural network that exists, up in orbit. And C, I just used satellites to burn an image into the ground near St. Louis, to basically deliver a message to the person that I love, that I've been searching for 300 plus years. And so all of this was kind of great big kind of exposition as you were trying to figure out what to do. Not sure if you could trust Tevis terribly well. understanding that he had the ability to do all of these crazy things with satellites, which insanely dangerous, easily exploitable, and definitely had already caught the attention of the coalition states, which, long story short, they're fascists, techno-fascists. Let's put a finer point on it. But you were willing to do what he said and go down into Mexico, as you had seen the results of his laser burned kind of image had caused two things. Two separate things had been shot down by the satellites, like pods, if you will. One of them shooting down nearby, another having been shot down into kind of the Mexican territory. And Mexico, as is common knowledge for people who live in the North American post-apocalyptic world, is overrun by vampires. Very From Dusk Till Dawn, John Carpenter's vampire style vampires. But that is where you left off, more or less. You were in the Panhandle as you were making your way towards Mexico, and you had been approached by one of the dog people that have been genetically engineered by the coalition states. And she basically said that Dr. Bradford is looking for you. You must avoid him at all costs. You're not 100% sure what that means, but you do know that Dr. Bradford is in charge of the coalition state of Lone Star, and the capital of which is very nearby. So that is where we open up. Does anyone have any questions before we proceed?
We're still just kind of in the middle of the desert, right?
Yeah, you guys are like in the scrublands that are the Panhandle area type places in Texas, which if you've ever been there, I don't recommend it. I mean, if you're from the Panhandle, anyone listening or what have you, I'm sorry, move out of there, please. It's not fun. You know, don't go to Lubbock, don't go to Amarillo. Try and stay away from Midland, Odessa, but go there if you need to. But as a Texan, I have very strong opinions about where to go in Texas. That being said, yes. So the 300 years of apocalypse has not been kind to the Panhandle, but it's only modestly worse than it was pre-apocalypse. So you all are trudging through this grubby scrub brush as you are approached by the genetic dog person woman, and she's just. We'll say this just for the dramatic purposes. She delivers her message and faints.
Oh, but is that supposed to happen? Do they normally do that?
No, that's only the genetically engineered goat people.
The fainting goat people. I go over to her and shake her and make sure and check for a pulse, see if she's alive.
All right. Do you have like a medicine skill? If not, I would allow a what is it? Smarts.
I have a healing, but I don't. Yeah.
Healing,
okay.
Perfect.
But I don't have any unknown. So I'm a jack of all trades, and I don't have, that's not technically a skill of mine, it's a blank. And so my jack of all trades says an unknown skill is D4 / D6. So is that?
And yeah, you get the D6 because of the wild dice.
Okay, so a D4 and a D6 then.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
By the way, people in the chat are pointing out that if you tips for a trip to Texas, pick a different destination. If you still go, frequent all the drive-through margarita places and Whataburger.
Whataburger is good. The mushroom Whataburger is my favorite. Mushroom Swiss.
And not to get too off topic, but apparently they're opening up a Whataburger in Colorado Springs, which is another place I wouldn't go to except for the Whataburger. So I might make a trip down to Colorado Springs.
Spicy ketchup.
Again, if you live in Colorado Springs, my apologies, but also move out.
Right.
So, all right, go ahead. Oh, I see that you've rolled. So Beat El Juice, you take this.
Go there for the Garden of the Gods.
Yes, I agree.
Beautiful country. Oh no, this.
But Beat El Juice, you managed to do well in kind of giving her a medical diagnostic. She is fine, probably suffering from a little bit of heat stroke. If you get her into the transport and maybe give her a little bit water, you think that she'll be fine. Maybe a cool wet rag. But she is otherwise not in a bad way. She's not like suffering from any illness or anything like that.
Perfect. I told Maynard to crank the AC in the convertible utility.
That worked. On the bright side, it does have a nuclear engine, so you can crank that AC nonstop and have no problems.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So one other thing that you noticed in the course of tending to her medically, she is wearing a coalition uniform. So she seems to be, as most dog people are, or let's say dog folk, I guess is maybe a better way of saying it. As most dog folk are, she does appear to be a part of their military apparatus.
Okay.
Part of Lone Star's military apparatus, so affiliated with the coalition.
Yes. Although, and this is just kind of like your characters would know this, but you don't. So I'm just kind of giving you the expository on it. So the dog folk were genetically engineered. I've kind of laid that out, but basically they were created. I almost hate to say it, but that's kind of what it is. They're a servitor race. They were created to be kind of, loyal race of dog people that can be, soldiers. They can be scouts. They have superior senses that can help in scouting and other military aspects. And most importantly, and this is kind of a conceit of the setting, is that animals can kind of see supernatural or perceive supernatural things. So can they. Dog folk are very adept at being able to notice if someone is psychic. They can sniff out magic, and they know when like someone, some kind of supernatural being is like shape changed. They're like, oh, there it is. This guy's bad. This guy's bad news. So they're very much just created as a genetic race of servants, and there's a lot of baggage with that, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
So why are they disloyal to this Dr. Bradford? Why is she telling us?
That's a great question, and you would have to kind of question her more about that. But it's I won't say unheard of, but it's certainly not common for dog folk to do that. They tend to be not to be overgeneralizing, but like they are bred to be loyal, and so that's very, very much part of their kind of way of being. However, they also are thinking, acting, feeling people, and so you think that if nothing else, this woman has a very good reason for having has a very good reason for wanting to warn you about Dr. Bradford. You're not sure what yet. You think she might be recovering for about an hour, but in that time you can probably move forward and get some progress. You do see the mega structure of Lone Star off in the distance. She must have walked and made her way towards you from a great deal away. And right now, the trick is that you do notice that there are some patrols, including some flying patrols. There is mechanical, or I should say like a power armor, not unlike the Glitter Boy, but much smaller and meant for flight, called the Samus. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what it stands for. It's like a whole acronym. but it's something like surface to air maneuverability, something. But I'm going to go ahead and post a picture of it.
And Dr. Bradford is in the Lone Star complex area.
It's fairly common knowledge that Dr. Bradford is effectively the like if there were a governor of Lone Star, which is the coalition state of Lone Star, it would be him. But it's not like he was elected; he was appointed. He has been in charge of the Lone Star Research Facility and calls all of the shots when it comes to what happens in the state of Lone Star. So he is widely known to be one of the most dangerous people in the Southwest of what used to be the United States.
What do they research at the research facility? Do we know?
So what you do know is that the research that took place there is what led to the creation of the dog folk. But that isn't the only thing. They regularly create things like new weapons, new body armor. It's like if you took Monsanto and Lockheed Martin and like magnified everything that was terrible about them and just smushed them together in a big Play-Doh ball. That's the Lone Star Complex. So they research magic, technology, genetics, psychic abilities, all kinds of different things. You name it, they research it. And there are rumors that there is even a stable rift machine in the basement area of Lone Star. Those are kind of boogeyman tales that no one's sure if they really believe.
So what does that mean, a rift machine? Like one that can create a rift at will? Or
yes, and potentially to anywhere that they might want to go. What that could potentially mean, I don't know that the coalition states even knows where they would want to create a rift to, but if they did, they could if the rumors are true.
Now,
guys, definitely sounds like bad news.
Yeah. Is there any cover around that if we were to make our way into Lone Star, are we able to get there stealthily?
So you're going to want to hide from these patrols because they're pretty adept. They're just like, that's what they do all day. They just fly around in these SAMUS suits and they go around and make sure that nothing approaches, because this is like an Area 51, but even more so. So let's have one person who's piloting try and do some kind of stealth driving, if you will.
Is there anything we can do about my giant glittering body being drugged behind?
We throw a camouflage
like
over him or something.
A canopy or something might be good.
Yeah.
Maybe like some shower curtains.
Well, like
Yeah.
we have a tarp. We could have a tarp.
I quickly paint a tarp.
What do you paint on the tarp?
Sand color and whatever our terrain is.
All right. Because you do that, I'm gonna give I'm gonna give a +2 to the stealth attempt, but let me see. Maynard, can you make me a stealth check as you pilot the transport?
Maynard, are you with us? This is like my class every day.
Sorry.
No, you're
Eating
fine.
his Chipotle.
Mike was selected to a different input. Yeah, so it's a stealth instead of a driving.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
the issue is not to like maneuver anything. The issue is to like drive in such a way that you will avoid their patrols.
Perfect. And before I do that, is there anything subterranean that maybe the electronics of my car are getting at? Any vibrations or any detection of hollowed out passages or sewers underneath where we currently are? or close by?
I'm going to call that a science roll to see if you could find something like that.
Okay. Let's do that first. All right. So 6 and a 4. I don't get the second set of wild dice on the exploding die, so yeah, just a 10.
Well, so you can roll the other D6 again as well, because.
Well, I did the normal D6, the wild die, and then my second exploding D6. So I got the 6 and the 4.
Right, but your wild die. Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Your wild die doesn't also get an explosion.
Right, you're right.
But no, it's all good. You find what appears to be some kind of an old tunnel that was like part of a highway in some years past. And you manage to drive through it, avoiding the SAMIS patrols. However, as you're driving through this area, you notice that it is occupied. And although the people there are smarter than to just be sitting on the road, there do appear to be some strange humanoid creatures that are kind of like clinging to the side, to the shoulder of this tunnel, if you will. They're just kind of off to the side. And some of them like throw detritus on your transport as you're moving past. It's not really much. It's not like it does anything negative, but you can tell that they're kind of just giving you a hard time for moving past what effectively seems to be their home.
And we're not worried that they're relaying any messages to kind of the inner city?
Let's see. Give me a science check if you want to kind of figure that out.
Okay.
Don't forget your wild dice. Okay, that's much better. You're not sure, but these people seem kind of impoverished and not well off. And the coalition states, if they had some kind of apparatus here, you don't think that it would be like hidden amongst like these kind of gross subway dwellers.
Perfect. And our passenger is still unconscious, but in good health?
Yeah, I'll say that once you're kind of out of the Lone Star area, that she will probably come to. But yeah, she is still out at for the time being.
So forgive me, I think I missed this part of the recap. Why again are we headed for Mexico? I know that he had written the message, and that it has something to do with us trying to connect to his love through the message.
So there were the 2 drop pods that came out of the sky. One of them was that like crazy robot thing that you fought, the Doberman.
Right.
And then the other one, he thinks is some kind of a manifestation of his loved one. And she went to Mexico. Like that pod landed somewhere in Mexico.
Okay. So we're looking for that pod.
Correct.
And do we know where it landed in Mexico?
You've kind of triangulated the spot, and Tevis has been able to effectively use satellites to find like the landing point in the crater that it created. But yeah, you've got a pretty good bearing on it.
Okay.
So I say we just keep cruising this tunnel to run us into wherever it leads.
Yeah.
As you start doing that, you notice that there is a squad of coalition soldiers coming down the other end of the tunnel. It's still a ways away. You're not sure if they're like coming at you, but they're marching in.
Oh shit, hit the binders. Maynard.
Are we?
Yeah.
No,
I'm
me.
going to turn out all lights and pop it in neutral, so there's minimal sounds of mechanics, and I'm going to run a brief scan to determine numbers and orientation, or if I can even pick up some radio chatter.
All right.
Is that going to be another science check?
I think that would be more of an electronics check.
Okay.
I'm an investigator and actually get +2 on notice rolls.
Ooh, you can use that if you want.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. My electronics roll was 6 out of 8, and then my wild die was 5.
All right. Between
I got a
Tomiko,
7.
yeah, between Tomiko and Maynard, you are able to tell that there's a squad of about a dozen coalition soldiers. You are able to spot that there's, of the dozen, I mean, and this is just kind of goofy information that may not mean anything to you, but there's like 8 standard, 2 juicers, and 2 officers. The juicers are really the ones that you want to watch out for. And if you don't know what a juicer is, that they're kind of something unique to this setting. Effectively, like if you know Bane from Batman, they're superhuman steroidal monsters that have this harness that pumps drugs into them on a regular basis. And they are super strong, super fast. They have the perceptive ability that is beyond human, and are also like speed freaks and danger seeking type individuals. So they're known to be absolute terrors on the battlefield. In exchange for being just amazingly good at combat, they only tend to live about 6 years from the time that they receive the juicer implants. So live fast, die young. These guys burn the candle on both ends. And just to kind of shore up the lore on juicers, there is a possibility that if you become a juicer and you catch yourself in time, maybe you do like a stint of 4 years as a juicer, you might be able to detox and live a relatively normal life after that. But there's always a chance that you might burn out and die anyways before you get a chance to do so. So it's like high risk, high reward kind of lifestyle. But yes, you've got a number of these coalition soldiers kind of bearing down as you're pondering what to do and got your lights turned off and everything. They start opening fire on these weird humanoid creatures that live down here in this tunnel area, and they're just shooting and lobbing grenades and just waging all out war on whatever these things are.
And these humanoids are between us and the juicer, the standard and officers. Okay.
So, and this is going to be a really difficult or very oversimplified thing for me to kind of express, but let me go ahead and get a decent map going.
There's no way around. This is just one single tunnel, no
you
side
can go
entrance.
Back. You think if you go back out, you might be able to get out of this area. As far as the presence of a side exit, you haven't seen one yet, but that's not to say that it's not there.
Well, tunnels, me being a city rat, tunnels are my my forte, kind of where I was born and raised. So can I do some investigating or notice to see if there's any side crevices that we might be able to sneak around?
Yeah, I say go ahead and make, I guess that would be a notice check, and see if you spot another exit. Let's see. I will say that you notice a side tunnel going this way. However, it's only barely big enough for the transport. You might be better off getting off the transport and going on foot, but you can chance taking the transport through it.
I say we, and this is before, say this is kind of where they're at down line of this.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I don't, oh no, I got it on there. Okay. So I'll say that you all are here. The bad guys are kind of here. I'm trying to get some tokens going, but it's just taken me a second.
Yeah.
And then kind of the humanoids are kind of gathered about on the sidelines, and then like you can see the road is kind of here, if that makes sense.
Did Beetlejuice see any bystanders or dwellers?
Yeah, there's plenty. In fact, this place is pretty choked with these kind of weird mutant type creatures.
Beetlejuice, maybe we can get one of these guys to show us a path out of here.
Well, aren't they engaged? I think they look pretty engaged with those the troop of coalition.
I mean, anybody not in the skirmish right now? Were there any
Are you trying to like gather intel or something?
Yeah, just seeing if there's people around here and
where that leads, if we can find out some intel on where that exit, that side road might lead to.
You don't think you have a lot of time, and basically the people here are fighting for their lives.
Okay.
So you might be able to get some information out of them, but it's going to be difficult. So I'm going to give you a -2, but I'm going to call that we'll say a persuasion check.
Okay.
I have a really high persuasion. For whatever that's worth.
If I can get an exploding die on the or on the wild, you said, right? Or just the normal?
On both.
On
Okay.
either or both, yeah.
Oh, I just keep going.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So just in the interest of keeping things simple, I've got all of the coalition soldiers on the map. And the red ones are the juicers, and the purple ones are the officers. I don't know that will matter, but in case it does, I've got that going. Holy cow. So you managed to stop someone. We'll say that it's a young man, maybe. You think if they're any kind of equivalent to human, they're like maybe 14 years old, and he just says, yeah, what do you want? They're coming to kill us. You might want to run too. I don't think you're with these deadheads, right?
No, not at all. We're looking for a way around them deeper into town.
Into town? You're trying to get into Lone Star?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, well, all right. I can take you there. You know what? Yeah, why don't we go this way? But I don't know if this jalopy is going to make it. You want to bring it in?
I don't know, Maynard. What do you think? Should we think you want to try squeezing her in, or do you want to take our guest and carry her?
I can break it down into parts easy. Take me about 2 minutes after I hit the collapse button on this rig.
Perfect. I'm in for getting everything broken down and try squeezing into this tunnel one by one, if you guys are good with it.
Take this wrench. I hit the button and it collapses mostly there, and then I give him a wrench and I say unscrew this, this, and this. I'll get the rest.
Okay. I hope that you took the poor woman out of the
exactly.
You know, when I hit that button, it gives a little 10-second countdown. It's got this police light, you know, maybe an ejector seat or two.
All of the turbulence has caused her to wake up, and so she's up and about and following you all.
Okay.
And Tamiko has healing and has a +2 on all healing. Can I?
Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
throw some more healing at her?
absolutely. So she's go ahead and make your roll, and we'll see. Yeah, she is more or less
So a +2, so I have a 5.
perfect. So she's more or less in tip-top shape and doing a-okay. Still a little out of sorts. Just she fainted. She's back up, and she's kind of running with you in this tunnel. But this kid, who we're gonna call, we're just gonna call him Replo. He's leading you up and through this tunnel, while the coalition soldiers are just mowing people down. They're just shooting indiscriminately. You do notice that most of them are crawling into like access pipes and air vents and things like that, where they can't easily be followed. But all the same, they're still just being annihilated. Those who were not lucky enough to just kind of leap into some sort of egress. And that is what you see as you make your way through this access tunnel that is leading you deeper into the heart of Lone Star. And Replo has pressed a button and closed what is effectively kind of an illusory wall. It's just this like door that is made to look just like more wall. And you are kind of in a tunnel system, a more closed-in tunnel system that leads through the outer edges of the Lone Star sewers, if you will. I was going to ask Golden Boy, are you going to get into your Glitter Boy? The good news is that these tunnels are big enough to accommodate it.
Oh, I haven't gotten out of it.
Okay, that's right. Okay. But are you then getting out of the hitch because the hitch is now no longer being pulled?
Oh, yeah. I'm not just going to like hang out on the ground. Sorry, I was quiet there for a while, but yeah, I'm going along with everyone.
No worries. I just wanted to make sure. And you all are making your way through this series of tunnels. And so this woman is finally able to talk. Do you want to question her?
Yes, absolutely. Are you all right? You back and conscious again? Feeling all right?
Yes, I was glad I was able to reach you, but where are we? What is this place? Are we outside of Lone Star?
We are still outside, but we're heading through tunnels into the city through another way. Why did you come to warn us?
I came to warn you on behalf of Gloria.
You know Gloria?
Yes. I wanted to make sure that Tevis didn't get anywhere near Dr. Bradford.
Why is Bradford looking for Tevis? What does he know?
He was able to recover Gloria from further south. He was able to get information from her. He knows about the satellites.
Oh.
It might only be a matter of time before he is able to access them through her. But if he has Tevis, he'll be able to do it much sooner and with a lot more acuity.
Is she being held somewhere against her will?
Yes, inside Lone Star.
Do you know where?
I do, but it's a death sentence to go anywhere near there.
Well, where is she?
Somehow?
What was that, Maynard?
Can we draw them out somehow?
So she first to the where is she? She says she is in Dr. Bradford's personal laboratory. As far as drawing them out, Dr. Bradford he's something of a keen mind, not easily fooled. He's probably figuring out how to apprehend you as we speak. That's why I tried to warn you. He didn't know I came out here.
What type of being is she right now? Is she similar to Tevis, or what?
So this is the dogfolk woman that you've
no,
met.
Sorry, Gloria.
Oh, yeah. Gloria. She's completely she is a human mind digitized into an android.
Like Tevis.
Like Tevis.
Okay. Now you come to warn us to escape, or do you recommend that? Do you have any strategy as to how we can get Gloria out of there, as we do not want to have Bradford have access to these satellites ever, let alone in the near future?
He is likely to do untold harm if he were to get his hands on the satellites, more so than the leadership of the coalition states. He's dangerous, a madman. He's worse. I don't know how else to say.
Well, it looks like we only have one choice then.
Yep.
Is Replo, can I ask Replo if he's interested, and are you going to be just getting us through these tunnels, or where do you have a dog in this fight?
Bernadette is the name of the dog folk woman, and when she hears you say that, she just kind of like, does kind of one of these like, things. But Replo just says, I can take you a little further, maybe get you into the facility, but ain't no one I know of ever gone in that's ever come out. Well, some of them come out, but it ain't pretty.
Well, I think we will really only need your help getting in. They're getting out, and he cocks the boom gun. It's like, that's on us.
Yeah, all right. But
so is Tevis responding to this awareness that she's being held?
Yeah, actually, Tevis is shocked, upset, like he's kind of going through this range of emotions, but he just says, well, I think you all know what I would want to do. I would march in there myself, even if you didn't come with me. I would owe you the stars themselves if you did. But you know that this is important to me and that I will go even if you do not. I will not implore you to follow me, but I am going.
Be cashing that in there, Tevis. None of this funny business like last time.
If I have to cut us an opening to get away, I will. I don't go in there to destroy myself. I go in there to save Gloria.
How would you cut us a way out?
I have my ways, and his eyes kind of like spark red a few times. But you think he can just call the satellites to like burn a hole through the?
Well, we did see him burn. We did see him etch the earth from the satellite.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's pretty badass.
Oh, worst case, we got Golden Boy too. He can blast, like you said. We'll figure a way out.
So
can I suggest that we all have our weapons at the ready as Replo gets us into the facility?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What type of fail-safe do you have in case this all goes south and you get captured? Do you have a self-destruct?
Tevis says yes, and if I understand things correctly, then I can also activate the one for Gloria. It would not be the most joyous of reunions, but it would be necessary.
Just trying to save the source code and maybe something I can obtain if need be.
Perhaps, but there are a number of risks involved. If they were to recover it, it would be all the same. So it may be just as prudent to destroy all of it, all of me.
Nobody then it's a risk to me. So we'll see what goes down.
Now, Bernadette, do you have any blueprints or any suggestions as how we get in here and reunite Tevis with Gloria and take down Dr. Bradford.
Bernadette says, yes, I know how to get in once we get into the Lone Star proper. It will be dangerous, but I think we can do it. All the same, if we are caught by Dr. Bradford, I shudder to think of what he may do to you.
Well, without Gloria, Bradford is not much of a threat, I guess, as far as the satellite. So, team, do we think that plan A is to stealthily get Gloria out of there, and plan B, bang bang?
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
I don't have another curtain to paint to keep you stealthy, Golden Boy. So just have to tread lightly.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. However, we're going through pretty secret tunnels already, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely, yes. That was just going just.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty much a giant banner.
You're about as obvious can be.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is that we're in dark sewers, so you're not really worried about like too much light reflecting and so on. One thing that you do kind of run into, and with the help of Replo, you're not really affected by, is that you do see that there are Skellbot patrols, and I'm just going to post a picture of what they look like. But Replo is able to, he knows their kind of patterns and the different patrols that they take. So you come within a few feet of these things as they just march their way through the sewers, constantly on the lookout, their visors kind of shooting out. One second. Their visors shooting out kind of these red infrared beams trying to detect any kind of anomalies. But Replo just kind of quietly mimes like the right way to go and halts everyone before they're able to stumble into any of these creatures. But they look, if nothing else, menacing, and there's plenty of them down here. So you think had you come down here without Replo, you might have run into quite a few of these things.
Ish, is there a brief way, I hope I'm not diverting things too much. Is there a brief way you can explain the difference between PPE and ISP and why that matters?
Yes, and so hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. So no, it's really goofy and it's counterintuitive, but this is the way that the original game put it. The simplest way I have of explaining it is that your PPE is magic points. That's how you cast magic. Your ISP is psionic points, and that's how you do psionics. The actual explanation is really goofy because PPE stands for potential psychic energy, whereas ISP stands for inner strength points. And that just is completely counterintuitive. So just PP is magic, ISP is psychic.
So my character can exchange either?
Yes.
If she's a mystic. So does that just mean that I have a fuck ton of PowerPoints?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't have to worry about spending.
You should, yeah, you're definitely you're definitely like a living battery of like psychic and magic energy, and you can interchange. That's kind of your gimmick.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And let's see. So you all are making your way through. Again, Replo has been a lifesaver, but you get to like a big kind of one of those what do you call them? Like the doors that has to open with like one of them big things.
Vault door?
What's that?
Like a vault door?
Yeah, a vault door. And he says, all right, you can get into the actual Lone Star complex through here, but this was pretty dangerous for me, and I think I proved myself by keeping you out of trouble. So, maybe you want to.
I give him a couple credits. I give him a handful of credits.
Now, when you say like a couple, how much is that?
100.
Okay. What about anybody else?
Yeah, I'll give him 150.
Okay.
I'll kick in 100.
I'll say you are owed a favor by Golden Boy.
Is that are you being like genuine, or is this kind of like a blow off kind of thing?
No, it's genuine. In the and he'll add, if we make it out alive, yes, you will be owed a favor by Golden Boy.
He kind of thinks about that for a second and goes, all right. If we ever run into each other again, I might call in that favor, but you don't go back on that, huh?
I never have.
That's the Glitter Boy code I hear so much about.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. He punches a few buttons on like a keypad that you hadn't even noticed before, and the vault door opens on its own. He says, all right. I hope I see you come out of there as something that doesn't look so much like me. He's like, you get kind of a good look at him as the vault door opens and the light shines out. And he's got kind of like this weird scaly skin, and like about an extra eye on one side. And we'll just say one ear is bigger than the other.
Like the sewer people in Futurama?
Yeah.
Very much like that, actually. Yeah, he's like what do they call them?
Yeah,
or something. But yes, very much like that. You can tell he's like comfortable with that. He's not like, sad that he looks like that. He's just kind of like, this is life. But he does say as you're making your way up the vault entrance, and he says, hey, you ever see one of the labs that's labeled imperfections? You see if you can blow that up, eh?
Oh, absolutely.
You got it.
So he makes his way back.
Go buy yourself some money.
So you make your way into the Lone Star proper. Thankfully, this seems to be some kind of a hidden access, and you think a place like this has more secret entrances than Denver International Airport. So you're going unbothered. You are making your way through a number of different places. You do notice that this one of the paths that you come across is a walkway, and you do see what appears to be a number of big vats that are growing all kinds of strange, monstrous things. Oh yeah, there we go. One of the creatures which is floating in the kind of massive test tubes looks like this. Although the picture I'm going to show you shows it like in action, but it's like floating in a tube. So you don't have to worry about it coming after you. But
cool.
Oh.
Oh man, phallic.
That's intense.
Let's see. The good news is that you don't have to tangle with any of these things, and you're making your way through the facility. And at one point, you notice Bernadette is starting to experience some kind of pain.
What's wrong?
What's wrong, girl?
She steals herself long enough to just give you a look, Maynard. but she says, I think that there's some kind of a force field, something that's causing me to not want to go in. I might have to stay behind.
They kept the e-collar on you, didn't they?
I mean, honestly, they're, let's see, anybody who wants to can make a notice roll.
I will. I have strong notice.
Get after it, Tomiko. Something's wrong with our girl here. Maynard can't help himself because she
+2
reminds him of a dog he had when he was a fine broth of a boy.
Okay. All right.
Wait, did you say fine broth of a boy?
Yep.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. It's what my dad always called me when I was young. My dad was crazy Irish bastard.
All right. That sounds like an Irish thing.
It's yeah, very much so. I'm sure his dad called him it. Something weird, nonsensical.
Okay.
Tomiko, you recognize that there seems to be a high-pitched noise that doesn't bother you, but is apparently bothering Bernadette.
Okay, there's got to be something.
A dog whistle.
Literally.
Yeah.
Can we offer her any kind of protection?
Golden Boy, I would imagine that you travel with a plethora of earplugs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, and I totally forgot. Like, we can like jury rig some like good ear protection, right? It's like,
yeah,
if you're traveling with a Golden Boy, I'll pull some out of a compartment on my robot leg. And I'll say, here, try these. You should still be able to hear us, but it won't. It should block out any high pitched or loud sounds.
You see that, Andrew?
Sorry, what?
Roll science, please.
Oh, roll science. Sorry,
Yes,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have science, so that means I roll a d4 minus 2 plus my hero die or my wild die, right?
By chance?
Do I have electronics? I do. That's a d8.
Roll that.
Okay. Electronics 5 and 6. All right,
hey,
so I got an 11.
Pretty good. So yeah, you are able to get something going where she can hear through, basically it's like a cybernetic ear apparatus, and it filters out the high-pitched noise, so it's totally fine. You're able to communicate.
Awesome.
But she's appreciative. She says, thank you. I don't know that I would have made it much further. But please follow me. I think I know where to go from here. And she leads you through a series of different kind of odd entrances, including a couple of ladders. It's going to be a little tricky for Golden Boy, but Golden Boy, make me now we'll call it an athletics check or a piloting. I would allow either.
Athletics or piloting. Oh,
is there?
You know what? I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
there is. Yeah, and that is also a D8, where my athletics is only a D6. So wait. So it seems like all of the ones that I have in red are dies that I normally have, but they're like one lower. So if it's in red on my character sheet, does that just mean that I'm like not trained in it, or?
Those are like common skills, right?
Okay. Right. But like, so my athletics is a D6, but my agility attribute is a D8.
And Jen, it looks like you had something to say about that. I wanted to.
Well, so just if it has a die next to it, if it has D4 or D6 or D8 or D10, then you have that skill.
Okay.
All the other skills on there you don't have, so you can employ them, but you employ them at a disadvantage, like unskilled. So you
Okay.
could roll a D4, but it would be -2. But you would still be able to roll a D4 and a D6, and it exploded. I mean, you always have a chance.
Right. Yeah.
But what does the
Okay.
red indicate, though? That's a good question.
I don't see red on mine. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at just like the generic pre-gen character sheet. So it might be something that you pick, and it,
But as I understand, the red means that you get an automatic D4. They're like common skills. So
Okay.
you don't get the -2 on them, even if you're like, they
Oh,
basically.
yes. Those are, I'm sorry, those are givens. I don't see them as red, so I didn't realize that's what they were. Everyone
okay.
gets those. Everyone gets those for D4.
Okay. Cool. Well, for piloting, I still have a good old fashioned D8, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right. That's
And
pretty
I'll
good.
take the 7. Yeah.
Yeah. You are able to, basically you're going up this like ladder shaft. And instead of going on the ladder, because the ladder is more or less meant for like a human or a big kind of creature, maybe, but you're still so big that you're not like, you'd be like going up the ladder like this. So you're using your glitter boy claws to like climb up this thing.
Right. That's dope.
And you're leaving these massive like, gouges in the wall, but it's still pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of a little destruction. There's gonna be more of it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Can I take a moment to use my MacGyver skill?
Yeah.
I am going to kind of how I envision it is I've got my big pack mule. Like as far as my ATV has been broken down into 3 parts, 2 small ones and 1 big one.
Mhm.
That's how I get places. I don't think the big one can get up this thing at all.
Probably.
So I'm going to have to leave it behind. So I'm going to put the radioactive core in this thing and rig up a timer or a frequency and just leave it at the base of this son bitch.
All right. That's completely doable. You can do that. Do you?
I don't think it because that's where all of my wheels to this thing is. So the car is no longer, but everything else is all backpacking. So I take the batteries out from this pack and some of the other modular components that help me with firearms and stuff like that, and I arm the nuclear core.
Can I ask, guys? Sorry, this is Terrell. What's happening?
All right. So Terry
We left Terry back in the
This is
tunnel.
very much accurate to Terry not knowing what's going on because he's blind too.
I'm gonna say Terry was probably in a deep trance and was being carried by someone like in a Yoda backpack. But is someone willing to like kind of say, hey, this is what's been going on? Not I can.
So the gist, Terry, is that we are here in this facility in Lone Star because we were heading towards Mexico to find Gloria, but it turns out she's here because a dog folk woman came up to us and warned us against Dr. Bradford, who is apparently like the evil science genius who's also the pseudo governor of Lone Star. We have the information that Gloria, again, who Tevis sent the message to from the satellite, Gloria is being held in his personal lab inside this facility that we are now entering.
And we're in like it looks like there's a lot of arrows on this map. It looks like we're in like a sewer swamp thing. What is
well,
this?
we had been in a tunnel that we're not in there anymore. We had been in a tunnel, and this like 14-year-old mutant kid showed us how to get here through another series of tunnels. So now we have just arrived at the facility. It's very dangerous, and Gloria is being held in the lab there, and we agreed to help Tevis. So
and Gloria is also an android like Tevis.
And this facility we've arrived at, are we outside of it or inside of it?
We're inside, entering from a pseudo secret entrance.
Okay. Is it like a multi-story facility or is it like a single? Okay.
It's a huge compound.
Okay. So it's like multi-floors that we're going to have to go up theoretically.
Is that accurate-ish?
That is, yes, very accurate.
We'll find
In
you an
fact,
elevator, Terry.
I'm
I'll
blind.
get-
I'm not. I can walk.
I don't know. I like the Yoda baby Bjorn.
You know what? Terry kind of does too.
You can just climb on top of on Golden Boy. Hold on to like some of the steel plates.
And I say, "Oh, Golden Boy. He's not a big target, right? There's not likelihood that they'll shoot at Golden Boy, right?"
Yeah, but you better hang out in the front.
All right.
Okay, so we've ditched the vehicle and armed it with a nuclear warhead.
wait, what? Maybe I missed another part.
So
Well, just our collapsible robot vehicle thing that Maynard is always tinkering with and adding to, won't, now is not useful to move through the facility. So he collapsed it, but armed it with a nuclear battery.
And it's with us. We have a nuke with us right now.
So the nuke is the engine of the ATV, my like ATV modular vehicle that we've been cruising around with. And it just simply can't make it any further. It's like a big hulking thing that has wheels that like I've been toting around, kind of Death Stranding style. And I've taken all the useful components off of it and the batteries off of it, and I've just armed the nuclear core of it as a wild card.
Okay.
As in, we're going to boom boom if this if things go south or whenever as our escape. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So a suicide mission.
We have 7 minutes.
All right.
Change the timer. Change the time.
I do have a question. Are we leaving it back where you left the rest of the ATV, or we're taking the battery with us so we can set it off somewhere else?
So in effect, it is the rest of the ATV.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like after you left. Sorry, I'm losing track.
It's like the engine, so it's a part of the main and biggest part of my thing.
It's mobile or not then?
It's been mobile because it has the wheel part of my little collapsible ATV thing.
Just carting it around then.
It's been like hitched to me and it follows behind me, moves on its own kind of.
Well, okay, so my question is, if we just need to get it like up this place, can we just attach it to me and I can take it with us? In case, because I don't necessarily want to like blow up this passageway that's like pretty close to our mutant friend. If we can get this perhaps like somewhere like deep in the heart, it'll do probably a lot more damage and destruction.
Maynard is like mid wrench turn and he's like, I suppose that's a lot better idea than the one I had.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just thought of that, but like, yeah, just tie it to me and hopefully I can climb up with it behind me and then we can just keep going with it.
Put a trench coat and a fedora on it.
Yeah, I think at some point, yeah, hiding is not going to matter, but oh boy.
Yes, and there's no other nuclear devices around us that anybody's toting around and hasn't told us, right? This is the only nuclear device we have. Oh,
Presumably.
yeah.
There is one inside the Glitter Boy. That's kind of how it operates.
Well, I mean, yeah, I thought you all knew that.
You guys are all just living on a prayer.
I mean, it's a very contained core.
Oh yeah, sure it is Slim Pickens. Let's do this.
It's kind of like Mr. Fusion in Back to the Future.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like a guy's about to ride a nuke into something.
But yes, I will allow that if Golden Boy wants to like strap it to his back and do that. I will.
Oh sure.
Quite risky, but doable.
Well, this seems like this. Like if I don't risk my life doing this, there's no point in being a glitter boy.
I feel like this is Jen, not Tamiko, but I feel like this is a pretty balls to the wall mission at this point. Like we might as well just fucking go.
Go all out, absolutely.
Yeah, this is like every weirdly like sci-fi semi-futuristic 80s movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like it starts out like really kind of goofy and like low stakes, and it's like, hey, we've got this little community and we're just kind of hanging out and trying to make it from day to day, and then not like you fast forward to the end of the movie, it's like, all right, so we're gonna blow up half the planet to save the other half, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So
and Dennis Quaid falls in love with the alien.
Yeah.
So we're in Lone Star in this facility. Are we underground or anything? Like
currently, yes.
Okay, guys, how much of Texas do you think we're going to destroy with a nuke going off in Texas?
The answer to that question,
it was an ATV, so I would probably only surmise it's like a half a city block blast. Like it's not like a ship core or like a big mobile transport thing. It's like a small 4-wheel powering device.
It's not going to be Hiroshima.
Okay, I was about to say, are we the bad guys?
We're just overloading the core.
There was so I mean it's kind of goofy, but there was a time in my life that I learned that there was such a thing as a surface-to-air nuclear missile, and I'm like, why? But apparently it's like it's a low-yield nuclear weapon that will like airburst and knock down like it'll knock out the electronics on like incoming fighter jets and so on, which is way more military information that I should ever have in my brain. But the idea is that you can have a low yield nuclear blast. This might be like a few megatons. Probably not anything you want to be anywhere near. But if the question is how much of Texas is this going to blow up, the best answer to that question is not enough. But
in the comments that it could take care of the panhandle that you hate.
I mean,
look, it blows up everything but Austin. It just like cuts around it and then resumes.
Everything but Austin and El Paso, Texas, and I'm fine. That's a big swath, and maybe Corpus Christi. But there's a reason that role-playing games have a pretty healthy helping of wish fulfillment. So whatever, take that as you will. But yes, you all are enacting this wacky gonzo balls to the wall plan, and you have come into what appears to be at least the outer edge of the laboratory of Dr. Bradford. This is kind of like if there was an emergency exit from his laboratory, this is it. And you do notice that there are what appear to be some robots that are guarding the entrance. And these robots aren't just like your kind of spindly but aggressive skeleton robots. These things are really intimidating looking, big bruiser type, like death motif robots. And they don't look like they're wanting to play patty cake.
How big are they?
They're bigger than your glitter boy. They're like 20 feet large and probably like a good 15 feet wide. They're like they're like if someone weaponized a Good Time Burgers.
Oh wait, what? A Good Time Burgers?
Yeah, like you know how the Good Time Burgers like kind of a shack. It's not like very big, but if it was a robot that was going to fight you, then that would be pretty big.
That's a big robot. You're right.
Perfect
That's definitely a big
scaling.
robot.
Weird analogy, but okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so of all so far, the only things that I have fought have been other robots. Are they more akin to the ones at the satellite station, like older versions? Are they like, well, they were all pretty old, weren't they? I guess, do these ones have the same shiny armor that are resistant to lasers and stuff?
They are not laser resistant. But the bad news for you is that they are state of the art. 1 second.
Are we able to maybe distract? If we ask Tevis, hey, remember what you did with the other ones going into that satellite? Do you think there's any way to disengage them?
So the bad news is that these are not like a neural intelligence, so they're not artificial. They're just very simple robots with very simple search and destroy commands. They can recognize specific people. They can recognize armor and insignia. But if you're not part of the coalition states or a pre-programmed, like this is my face, I am this person kind of situation, they will shoot and kill you. But
we're not going to get the 5-second warning that the other robots gave us.
No, this is not Ed 209 here. This thing is going to like go for you in a heartbeat. And as I was starting to say, these things are state-of-the-art coalition technology, probably developed by Dr. Bradford. They're potentially more dangerous than the Dobermans.
Do they know that we're not part of the coalition anymore? Because we're working for them for a while.
So no, I'm saying like you would have to have your face programmed into their memory banks or be wearing like the uniform or armor of the coalition states.
Is Bernadette, is she's still wearing those clothes though, right? She's able to go and approach them.
She could, in theory, be allowed to pass.
Could she go? I'd like to ask Bernadette if she's there. Is she a dog?
She's a dog folk, let's say. So she's like a humanoid dog.
And they speak English, right? I don't have to growl at her or something.
No.
So, all right. I look at Tomiko and I say, Bernadette, can you go over to them and tell them, distract them and tell them there's an issue somewhere else?
Agreed.
Oh, that's a good idea.
She does say that is a great idea, but I don't have the clearance to give them those commands.
All right, do you have the clearance to go through into the laboratory without them harming you?
Only if Dr. Bradford hasn't noticed me missing. He's likely to have stricken me from the data banks if he has.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Just in the interest of not finding the token, I'm just going to use these generic like robo skulls. But y'all can, if you like, place yourselves kind of, this is like this big area. There's all this kind of like science-y tech stuff on the sides, but this is all like a big lab area leading into Dr. Bradford's. Like this door right here is like the door leading into his personal laboratory with all of his personal stuff. As you could imagine, this is the high-tech security that keeps everyone out who he doesn't want to go.
Can before we like decide to like go, well, we're still kind of like hidden. I'd like to talk to everyone, and so I've got an idea. You probably know what it is, but I might need just a little bit of help, and then I'll need you guys to get the hell away. My thinking is I walk out there, they probably try to start shooting at me, but I lock my I lock myself in. Perhaps you guys distract them, and then when I'm ready, you all run and give me the chance to blow them all to hell.
So what's the plan exactly? So you want us to, you're gonna go up there, distract them, and then shoot them while we all scamper through?
No. So the thing is, I need to take some time to set myself so I can fire off this big ass gun.
His big turret. Remember, he drills himself into the ground and whatnot.
Yeah.
After I do that, this is just an idea. After I do that, you guys scatter so you guys don't get harmed when I shoot this thing off, and I just try to get these guys. I have other guns as well. We don't have to necessarily go for the big one.
How far away would we have to be to not be harmed?
According to the rules,
I'm in.
It is everyone within a large blast template.
Which I want to say is like 12 meters.
12 meters, okay.
So would we have to get into the lab? And then
or I figure you guys just like run back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can find distance here. You can like get away enough.
Okay.
So do you think that your gun is going to be able to one-shot one of these things?
It could. It's the biggest gun I think any of us have.
That's for sure.
And I won't be able, if it doesn't one shot, I won't be able to, I mean, I will be able to shoot it off with all of you around me, but it's not going to be good for you. So I figure maybe first shot with the big gun, and then perhaps we can.
So you want to blast one while we're gone. Then when we hear the blast, we run back to support
and finish
That's a good
off.
plan. Yeah.
I mean, is there from where we are?
If we run back, you can set off this gun. Will the blast take out both of those robots?
I don't know. It says that it works as a shotgun for like nearby people. So I guess it has like a little bit of area.
They are far away that you could only hit one with each of the attacks.
Okay. Well,
That's
yeah,
still
so
a
I can
head
hit
start we
one.
could use.
Yeah.
So I can hit one.
I'm just glad you're not arming the nuke. I thought that was open. That's what I thought.
Why don't we
If
just
we
set
need
up
to
the
arm
nuke?
the nuke, I can arm the nuke. Are we arming the nuke?
We're not arming
We're
the
all
nuke.
agreeing on
Ish, I have another question. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you have reload capabilities? Like, could we run back the way we came and you could take out both of them, or no?
I mean, yeah, I can reload. It just takes me it just takes me some time to get locked into place so I don't go flying backwards.
Gotcha.
I do have another question though, Ish. Is there, since we are all pretty much like seeing these things and they don't see us, can everybody just like run away and I can just lock myself here and fire off before we even have to get within like eye shot?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Okay, my plan is different. Everybody just run away. I can lock myself in place. I can fire at one, and then as long as they're basically within eye shot of me, I can keep firing at them. And if they get, I don't know, if y'all want to get in there, I can switch to something else.
Well, no, I like it. And I have a thing called Puppet, which I assume I can use on these things. So it could, after you shoot one off and we come back, I could probably control one of them for some amount of time.
But they're not, I don't
This
think.
will all give me just the time I need to arm the nuke.
We're gonna have to talk about your nuke thing.
Gloria first, Maynard.
All right.
I like this plan. Okay. This is good. Glitter Boy, load them up.
Yep. So we're taking off back the way we came, far enough away to not get blasted.
All right. Somebody take me off the back of Glitter Boy.
I'll do that.
Come on, Terry.
All right. So you do that. You get ready to shoot at these things. They don't see you coming necessarily. And so go ahead and take your shot. For what it's worth, I'll give you a +2 because it's effectively unexpected.
Oh, okay, cool. So, and I already have a +1, so it's a +3. So let me just shooting D8, my D6 +3. Oh my goodness. So let me do.
Oh, that 8. Woohoo!
So you have a raise, which gives you an extra D6 damage, which compared to the damage of your boom gun is probably like minuscule. But hey.
But you can roll your D8 again.
Yeah, I thought I clicked on it. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's a 5 on the second D8.
Totally.
That's 2.
Wait. Yeah. So if the total on the die with +3, does that make it a second 8?
Yes. So that's 3 raises.
That's why I get to roll again.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but it's a raise.
It has to be the number on the dice that lets you explode.
That makes it explode, but that's another raise. Okay, that is awesome.
So you basically get 3 extra 6-sided dice if I'm thinking correctly on how raises work.
On damage,
okay.
Yeah.
So I get 5d10 +5 plus 3d6.
Yes.
I will do that. 5d10.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's
And guys, if this doesn't work, I say we get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so here's the regular 33 plus 3d6. Okay, so 40. And I'm gonna go for the one on the left there.
All right. And let me see. So you rip this thing right in the shoulder, just destroying its arm entirely.
Right.
It is not down. And they're going to have a chance to retaliate. Let me look. Come
on. I'm gonna call out on the radio. I probably have another good shot before possibly they can get to me. So wait for the second shot, then rush in. Didn't kill him on the first shot. So
all right. So because you did all of that, I'm gonna recall all the cards and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into initiative.
Right.
1 card to all players. And let me go ahead and remove all turns. We're going to add them in. I'm actually going to deal myself 1 more card. You must be deal. Okay, 1. Ooh, okay. All right. Just because there's so few of them, I'm going to give them an initiative each. All right. And then Beetlejuice, what do you got?
7 spades.
Nice. Maynard, what have you got?
7 of diamonds.
So you go after. And Tomiko.
I have a 4 of spades. I thought it was reverse alphabetical order.
See, I always get it mixed up in my brain. So
reverse alphabetical order, like bridge suits. So diamonds should be ahead of spades.
Wouldn't that be alphabetical?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think spades goes first because it's reversed. Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting all mixed up in my brain. But I mean, for what it's worth, because you're allies, I don't think it makes a big difference if you wanted to swap or whatever. All right, Terry, what was your initiative?
I got the king of clubs. Terry is going in first.
Nice.
Well, there's still a golden boy.
Yeah, golden boy. What do you got?
Well, I wanted to say that I got the Joker, just to step on Terry. But now I got the ace, the 8 of spades. Not the ace of spades.
All right. So let's see. So far, the rest of you are like far back, I'm going to say. But you may still have the range to attack these robots if you like. The first one on this side here is going to try and attack Golden Boy and shoot a missile.
Ooh.
And misses. So the missile goes stray and the missile goes stray and fires off. It kind of shoots off some you see like kind of some sparks come out. You think that the firing mechanism was disrupted, so I'm gonna give it a -2 on its next attempt to shoot.
All your new fancy toys. Yeah. They don't make them like me anymore.
That's true. Terry, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to use. Am I able to cast on the damaged one? Am I close enough?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to use Puppet. Am I able to do that on a robot? I just.
I'll allow it.
Okay. So, I really needed to research this game and I did not. Because I'm trying to figure out how do you do that.
Do me a favor and do a psychic roll, and I'm going to have it do a spirit roll.
Psychic roll.
It won't have a lot of spirit because it's not.
What do you roll for a psychic roll? So I got.
For you, it's a D8, and don't forget your wild dice.
All right. I wish I knew where this stuff was. It'd make you guys' life easier. So a D8 plus a D6.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh no!
No. Your head explodes. Clicking scanners.
All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You have swapped your consciousness with that of the robot. You're in the robot's body. The robot's in your body.
Freaky Friday style. It's probably a big disadvantage for him, not me.
I'll allow you to control the robot next turn, but it's also going to then, on its turn, which is next, do a thing using your body.
Am I able to see now that I'm in this robot?
Yes.
Oh my God, my head is really exploding now. Like Beetlejuice, you're so ugly.
You basically get to see in like the old like CRT it's not high definition, let's put it that, it's standard definition. But I am gonna say that the robot somehow instinctively, do you have a psi weapon, like a psi blade?
I have a staff.
Okay, it's gonna use the staff to try and attack Tomiko.
Keep in mind he's blind.
Tomiko, do you have a parry number?
My parry fucking sucks. My parry is 4.
Okay, so hits.
It hits.
I don't know what your strength is, Terry.
I will tell you. My strength is a D6. Does that mean anything? Is that the right?
That's correct. I don't know if you have a toughness of 3 or less, Tomiko.
Oh no, my toughness is badass. My toughness is 10.
So yeah, you see Terry like
and
run
I have
after
armor,
you.
so 10 plus 4, so I'm good.
Yeah, Terry runs after you and like tries to conk you with his staff, but it just kind of thuds into your armor, so you're fine.
Okay, do we understand that Freaky Friday has happened, or am I just like, what the fuck, Terry?
You're probably like, what the fuck, Terry?
What the fuck, Terry?
Am I able to respond as a robot? Like, do I hear this? Can I communicate as a robot?
Beep boop.
you can when your turn comes up, but yeah, the robot inhabited Terry just goes input not recognized in demolition mode.
Huh.
All right, and this is
Terry
happening.
Still loves yogurt.
This is happening far back, so you all aren't going to be affected by Golden Boy. But Golden Boy, you can take another shot now. I think you have the rate of fire, right?
Please don't.
Yeah, it's one. So yeah, just one at a time.
So you're already dug in. You can totally take your shot.
Okay. But do I want to go for the one that's already? Yeah, just take one out. Wait. So the one that's damaged, is that the one that has Terry in it?
Yes.
But I don't know that, do I?
No.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Oh, because I think Golden Boy would definitely go and just try to take one of these completely out.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I think I've got to. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what happens to your. I don't know if you unfreaky Friday.
I wonder if you kill me.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna shoot at the beat up one.
Go for it.
Okay, so that's a 4.
And a 4 hit.
6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, there we go.
You hit no raises for what it's worth, but go ahead and do your damage.
Yeah, so no raises. So I just do the 5d10, right? And plus 5. Kaboom for 31.
Don't forget to re-roll that 10. Or roll an additional
shit,
10.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, there we go.
All right.
32.
You did in fact cause another wound on this thing.
Oh.
And it is very close to being destroyed. You've kind of like busted one of its legs. And so it's now immobile and with only one arm, but it will try and attack you next. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it will try and attack you because it's Terry. So maybe Terry will be able to do something before it is completely destroyed. Terry, that hurt. In fact, I don't know if anyone paid attention to
I thought that was perfect.
But all right, Golden Boy, that was yours. And that's how tough these things are. Almost anything else you would have destroyed in one shot. But these things are very durable. Beetlejuice, it is your turn.
All right. Do I see any points of weakness on these robots? Like when you're in a boss, there's a blinking little light where you aim and shoot at or anything like that?
I would say they probably have kind of like if you can remember General Grievous, he's kind of got like that inner core. If you can kind of manage to get at that, you think you can probably destroy these things more efficiently.
Okay, perfect. So I use my targeting eye with my laser pistol to go after the incapacitated one.
Do it.
That gives me +2 to all shooting rolls. Oh, and that takes, that's the one that takes 1 round to calibrate, so it's not an effect for this one.
All right, so you're doing that and then you will shoot next round?
Yes, yeah. So I'm still aiming for that. I just not getting that +2 with my targeting eye. So with this one, that'll be my D10. I use that's a shooting roll, right? Obviously.
Hey, that is a hit with a raise. So go ahead and do damage, and you get to add 1d6.
Okay. 3d6. I get an extra d6. You said then?
Correct. And by the way, are you attacking the damaged one or the undamaged?
Yes, the damaged one. Yeah.
All right. So you hit the damaged one, and it is basically slagged. But I will allow Terry to do one more attack before it is basically just kind of like tottering over, and Terry can do one thing.
If I was Andre, I would totally attack the glitter boy, but fucking ass. But no, I would. What kind of attacks do these things have?
I will tell you, your turn will come up very soon.
Oh, I thought you were saying that now. Okay, I see.
Right. I'm just saying, like you're destroyed, but you get to make one like
gotcha.
attack if you want to. Maynard, it is your turn.
All right. Is there, as I press past,
Luke, is there anything that I can
It's Terry, but
see or do? Yeah, Terry. I mean, I don't have any healing. It's probably a moot point for me to even. I'm just kind
No
of
one's
cocked.
hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of cocked my head when he said, input not received. All right. I kind of get a little bit closer. Glitter, Golden Boy, how far do I have to stay away from you?
A
12
good distance. I'm not sure. What was it, 12 meters?
I'm just gonna call it like a straight 20 feet.
Okay.
'Cause I
Okay.
know the answer to this, but I'd have to relook it up. But let's just call it 20 feet.
No, that's fine. I take a grenade pot shot. I load my grenade launcher with a plasma round. In the shots category, the shots column of weapons,
Yeah.
I've got a 3 for this. Does that indicate I have 3 rounds per battle, or I have 3 rounds total?
I'm not sure. 3 shots. I think that's how
many
as many
shots the weapon has before it needs to be reloaded.
Yeah, that sounds right. Like you can have 3 grenades preloaded, so that you don't have to spend your round loading them.
Got it. So I can take 3 of these shots per turn.
That's rate of fire. What does it say on ROF? So if you could imagine like a double-barreled shotgun.
It doesn't. Oh, 1. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Notes reload 2. Okay, cool. Yep. Plasma round, plasma fire.
Cool.
There's the shot.
Don't forget
There's
your
the
wild dice.
Wyome.
There we go.
I'm gonna do a Benny for my shot.
It's a good idea. Remember, you get to reroll both, although you shouldn't necessarily need to. So go ahead and roll that to wild dice.
Okay, 7 and a 4.
Okay. So you definitely hit, no raises, but you do full damage.
Okay.
Good news, they're not resistant to this in any way.
Do we know what it would take to open the door to the lab? Like,
You're
could we
pretty sure that
blast the door open, or
Bernadette can get you through once these things are destroyed.
but we have to destroy them first?
Otherwise, they're going to just try and obliterate you. I will say that you do manage to get 1 wound on this thing. It's looking kind of damaged, but only somewhat so. Actually, I take that back. It's not wounded, it is shaken.
Ooh.
So we'll do like a symbol there. But still, that's progress. And then we go to Tomiko.
All right, I'm gonna shoot the other one that I'm gonna follow up the one that Maynard just shot, because he's still looking pretty fierce, and the other one's almost down. I'm gonna shoot him with my laser pistol.
Go ahead.
But so shooting is not armed for me, but I get +1 shooting, so I'm just gonna be at a -1.
Sure.
Hits.
All right. That should be fine. You managed to hit, so go ahead and do damage. All right. That actually is excellent. Go ahead and re-roll that exploding dice.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. So that one does. So this robot is finally wounded as you start to shoot. You get a nice shot lined up in between its plates. But now we go to that robot, and it is going to shoot a mini missile barrage. It's going to target everyone. So this is going to be kind of goofy, but let me see how I can make this work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 targets that it can see. So we're looking at so Golden Boy it misses, Maynard it hits, Beetlejuice it hits, Terry it doesn't know that you've Freaky Friday, so it hits the robot Terry, and then it misses Tomiko, and
it hit me as a robot, or it hit Terry my body?
Terry with a robot persona.
Okay.
And for the ones that it hit, I'm going to go ahead and roll damage, and we're just going to call that. So the first one is for Maynard, 13 damage. Second one is for Beetlejuice, 15 damage. Last one is for Terry. Oh, and actually, so a total of 17 on Beetlejuice. And for the robot Terry, we're looking at a total of 27.
Jesus. Wait, how do I see
how many wounds is that?
What is your toughness?
My toughness is 12 parentheses 5.
Are you wearing armor?
No.
So you've taken 2 wounds now. And Beetlejuice, what is your toughness?
10-4, and I do have armor.
Okay, so you took 1.
Okay.
You took 1 wound.
I took how many? 3? 2?
2.
2. Okay.
We reset each session, or do I have to carry over my wounds from last time?
I will say that you could have been healed in the intermittent time.
Okay.
So the
Like
parenthetic
normally-
number is the armor?
No,
So-
well, yes.
In parentheses is what gets added to your toughness with your armor on.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Perfect. Oh, that's,
Okay, cool.
I see. Yep.
Yeah, you always want to take that bigger number, but like the smaller number is like if you didn't have armor, you would subtract that.
Not subtract, but you just like
16 null.
so your toughness is your toughness no matter what. But then
Yeah.
if you're wearing your armor, you get to add the parenthetical.
So my armor has +2 for tough and +6. Does that mean that my 13-6 toughness score already has the +2 factored in, and then the +6 is just the armor presence?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Sounds about right. So you take
And-
1 wound.
Because I'm 19. I was 19 damage. I'm the top
15.
damage.
Or 13.
The first roll, I'm the 13.
The 13. Yeah, the 13 is the one that hit you. And if it meets or exceeds, then it does 1. Every multiple of that. Like let's say you have a toughness of 10, someone does 20 damage to you.
Oh, okay, so
take
my
2.
toughness in this case isn't 13 + 6 for the 19. It's
So I just had to have this explained to me this weekend in my Star Wars battle. So your parry is like your resistance to the attack itself. So like when he rolled the attack on us, he determined whether it hit or not, depending on our existing parry. Okay. But then if you get hit, then your damage is determined by your toughness, and then whether or not you're wearing your armor affects that number.
Makes sense to me.
And so if it matches or exceeds your toughness, and then every time it's 4, every time it adds 4 to your, every time it's 4 above your toughness number, that's a raise.
Okay, so like because I have a 12 toughness, 5 plus the 5, but that's just armor. That means that if it's a 12 on his first roll, wait.
So the damage against you is 27.
Right.
And are you sure you're not wearing armor? Why aren't you wearing your armor?
I'm kind of monk-like, so I figured I was just wearing robes.
You
forgot to dress this morning.
I don't see anything about armor is really the biggest reason.
But you must have armor or you wouldn't have the parenthetical.
Oh, so I must
You got
have
Huntsman medium personal armor.
Oh, okay. There you
armor
go.
is under your skills too. Like it's
So
a
then you
section
have-
under your skills. But I'm still confused. What is my
I found it.
6 in parentheses armor? What does my 6 in parentheses armor do then? Because like if he hit me for 13 and I have a toughness of 13, what does that 6 do then? Doesn't that 6 put his 13? Doesn't it elevate my 13 and he doesn't hit me because my armor deflects it or whatever?
So that is my understanding, Ish, but I don't want to overrule how you're playing.
I guess that makes sense though, because then he would have to go 19 or higher to wound me at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct, because you're pretty tough. But same thing, I am pretty sure though that each 4 is a raise, but he would have his armor on, so he would have been at 17. So Terry's body, let's call it Terry's body.
Yeah.
Like Andre's body. Terry's body would have been at 17. So the 27 would be 17 plus 4 is 21 plus 4 is 25. So there would have been 2 raises. So he should have
Gotcha.
3 wounds.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, I can't believe how often I
Not
lose
down
my
yet
shot.
because the 4th wound brings you down. And again, Ish, like I am a novice at this. This is just what I understand from my very low tech game.
No, that makes sense to me. That
No worries. We will go with that. Terry, you're in bad shape because of all of that, but you're still active. At least
Right.
robot persona Terry is in bad shape. But all
You're
of
both
that,
in bad shape.
yeah.
so Maynard, you take no wounds, but I believe that Beat Juice still takes the 1.
Yep, I got that.
Is 19 for that shot? Is 19 like? Is that a hard roll for any given enemy?
Like to 19 damage, you mean?
Yeah, if my toughness is 13 and my armor is 6 to
Not
create
especially.
an overall defense base of 19, that means I am pretty tough with good armor.
But this
Yes,
thing,
but it depends on what your enemy can always explode and fuck you up.
but just really quick, so it's not difficult to do that because this thing can shoot the equivalent of a Tomahawk missile. So it can shoot like one massive missile at you and probably.
Okay.
But what it did is instead it did what is called a mini missile, which are pretty ubiquitous in the Rift setting. And it's like if you took like a Coke can full of like very intense explosives and shot like 12 of them out, that's what it did.
Okay.
Like these rocket guided Coke can explosives, it just shot them everywhere.
Cool.
But that happens, multiple explosives, and now we get over to Terry in the robot. What would you like to do? You could shoot a Tomahawk missile at the other robot if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think first off, I'm going to say, guys, it's me. It's Terry.
Oh, yeah, you can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna launch a Tomahawk. Also, at the same time, I'm gonna think, in another life, I feel like I lost my body as well.
It's a recurring theme.
Is this permanent, Terry?
I don't know.
I would love this scene to play out. Terry's just like, guys, it's me, Terry. And then like the camera cuts to outside of the robot and it's just like, garag, garag, garag. It's like terrible machine noise.
Terry's just enjoying this moment of seeing color for the first time.
He's touching everything.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. It's so painful.
So, Terry, go ahead and roll a D10 plus your wild dice D6 to shoot this missile at this mofo.
A D10.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I keep doing it.
Reroll that D6. Yep.
Oh,
And again.
Oh,
Do it
baby.
And again.
Oh
It's
my
very
God.
exciting. It does get
hot
very-
table.
Yahtzee.
So we're looking at 22, and that's ridiculous. Let me calculate this out. So that's a total of 4 raises. So you get an extra 4d6 on this damage, and it's already 8d10.
Wait, roll 4 more d6?
Well, first roll 8d10, because this is a mofo giant missile.
Oh.
And then also roll 4d6.
So go it. So 24 and 25, no crits, but 1 failure. And then what'd you say on the d8s?
4d6.
4d6. All right. So much more rolling in this. Oh man, let's keep getting these. Well, I didn't get any crits at all, or didn't max the dice out at all.
That's okay. You still did enough damage to just destroy it outright. And both of the creatures kind of that was what you were doing as you were falling backwards and deactivating, and you are now back in your body.
Oh, so
also in a lot of pain.
It still hurts.
So I'm gonna heal him.
Go ahead.
Or at least try. So I get +2 to all my healing rolls. So I get a d4 and a d6 +2.
Okay.
And my d4 I get to do again.
Very nice. I will say that you recover 2 wounds. So Terry, you are now it's only 1 wound.
All right.
The fuck just happened, Terry?
I saw lights and colors, and then you guys started hitting me.
And you wish you were blind.
Yeah,
That's what everybody with sight has to go through to get the sight.
Sight is so painful.
You failed, Terry. You failed.
So you all are allowed into the inner sanctum of Dr. Bradford as Bernadette types in the code, and thankfully it still works. So you go there, you see the android body of Gloria. She's not made up like Tevis is. She just looks like a robot humanoid thing, like metal kind of skin, and not like, not trying to be passed for human, but just like is the kind of like a robot. But she's on a table attached to a bunch of wires and everything. And you do see that Dr. Bradford is out. He is not in this room currently. But you do see that one of his assistants is there. And it appears to be a younger gentleman doctor. And he just looks over to you and says, Dr. Bradford would not want you to be here. Bernadette, you have done a terrible thing today. You see his name tag reads Doc Farrell.
Can one of us run over? Can I run over and hog time?
Do you just point a weapon at him?
Yeah, I point a weapon at him, I threaten him, and then I work my way over to him to try and...
Let's call that a fighting roll. So go ahead and give me a fighting. Meanwhile, what does everyone else want to do?
Well, I mean, I'm probably pretty lost on all of this situation, but God, it is weird being blind. Are there like computers and things throughout this room?
Yeah, you would even hear the hum of computers in here.
So she's all wired up, right?
Yes.
I don't know if we want to set her free. Maybe we should look at like what programming they put into her. Is anybody good at
Can we do?
Okay.
Tevis?
Oh yeah, Tevis. Maybe he's the guy to.
So Tevis goes over and starts unconnecting the wires and everything. Like he seems to know what he's doing. He's not just like brutishly doing so, but he's very carefully doing so to not damage Gloria. And they have a moment where they reconnect and kind of just they share like kind of a Bluetooth moment where like you don't know what they're saying, but they're saying something to each other. But Tevis just says, "We have to get out of here now. If you have that nuclear device, it might be a good time now."
But we should take the guy that Beetlejuice is tying up, right? We should.
You've got him, yeah.
Yeah. So, to put him in my papoose on Golden Boy and let's go.
Yeah, I'll definitely trade the bomb for the man.
Okay. Just don't throw them and cradle the bomb.
Is there?
I think this is where we want to leave the bomb.
Is there a computer terminal in anywhere around?
Oh yeah, there's tons.
I go by to the closest one and start to hack it.
Oh
Okay.
God!
What would you like to accomplish with your hacking?
I want. I just want to copy as much content as I can easily smash and grab once I'm in, if I gain access to the computer bay. I am looking to mass data dump into my my drives.
Code name Acid Burn.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me I don't know what skill, I guess electronics.
Hacking.
I think there is a hacking one.
Is there
How do I not have advanced on hacking? That's crazy.
But you do have a -2. Like these systems, even though they're kind of laid bare, still have their own defenses. So you have -2 effectively for those defenses.
Oh, I'm just surprised I don't have like a D6 or a D8 for hacking.
Right.
D4.
I have a blank one, so it's just a D4.
But that means you're already at -2 and he gave you another -2. So unless you explode, you can't succeed at all.
Well, let's see if
Your
the
wild
password
die.
is
Wild die.
password. Oh!
Don't forget the wild dice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Back to arming my nuclear device.
You did download his dating profile.
All right.
But yes,
his Tinder profile name.
you arm the nuclear device. I'm presuming you're going to use it to blow a hole on the side of the complex to get the fuck out. Now the tricky part is you no longer have a vehicle. So how are you going to like get away?
We're gonna have to go back through the sewers and huff it, go underground, right?
Probably
Can the vehicle be reconstituted?
Not after it's atomized.
So
I mean, either we have this escape vehicle, guys, or I detonate this. I'm willing to bet destruction we reap here could help out a lot to people.
Blow it up.
Here's my first question. I mean, we're pretty quick to say blow things up. It doesn't seem like we're in immediate need to blow things up. Can't we ask some questions and look around a bit?
You think that there's only a matter of time before this area is swarmed by who knows what? You could be facing down 5 of those weird rhino tentacle monsters within the span of seconds if you're not careful.
Touche. All right.
Blow it up.
Let's get the fuck out of here and blow it up.
So nuclear weapon, or do you want to ask Tevis to instead use the satellite strike?
Oh yeah.
I would
Nuclear.
satellite strike that so we have your vehicle.
Well, let's say if my small nuclear reactor for my ATV is just over a half a city block. Tevis, how big of a payload does your satellite strike deliver? Are we talking it'll level this complex?
He could, but he's not exactly willing to do that. Like, like in a very brief way, he says that would be against his moral imperative. Like he wouldn't want to just kill that many people, even though this is clearly like something terrible and awful. There's still innocent people within it, so he's not real willing to do that. He can blow a giant chunk out of it, though.
Our nuke it'll kill some civilians then?
Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily. The nuke would probably deal a lot of damage. Could maybe hurt some people in the lower levels, but not likely to do a lot of collateral damage. It'll blow a giant hole on the side of this complex that'll let you get the fuck out.
And it'll probably ruin a whole bunch of the electronics.
So also a good point.
Yeah.
How fast is Golden Boy? What's your pace, Golden Boy?
I'm away from my computer right now, but it's something like 14 plus a D8 or something like that.
It was like 30 to 40 miles per hour.
That's what I remember.
That's really fast. Can we all like hitch a ride on Golden Boy to get the fuck out of there?
You know what? I'll say if you can get to the ground level, Golden Boy can probably run and pull what's left of the ATV as like wheels and just a thing, and maybe you can get away that way.
So
You
we'll
guys
be
hang
in
on.
like his Red Rider wagon.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
Radio flyer.
Radio
baby.
flyer, yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's rig the nuke. Let's get to the basement and let's run and set it off. That sounds like a plan to me. What do you guys think?
I'm in.
So
Let's do it.
So in the interest of the kind of narrative pull that we've got going, you make it back down. And what was the kid's name? I want to say Replo.
Yes.
Yeah, you brought Gloria. Bernadette wants to go with you. She doesn't have a place here anymore. She's probably going to be executed or worse if you leave her behind.
Oh no, hell yes. Come on, Bern.
So Bernadette goes with
Come
you,
here,
and
honey. Come on.
Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Get over here, girl.
Some milk bones.
oh my god. But Replo leads you back around the kind of the same way safely. And as you get to the tunnel, you notice that all of the regular dead, the regular coalition soldiers have been killed. And you see on the side that you came in from on the tunnel, there is a transport from the Tomorrow Legion ready to pick you up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Looking at slow motion.
Yeah, so they come in like, nick of time, just like as you show up. You don't know what took out those dead boys, but they're out. They're destroyed. The juicers know where to be.
Can we be like, what happened?
No one's around really, and Replo is just like, that was how it was when I got here. I know that sounds kind of generic, but I don't know. Not too many questions you want to be asking.
Not worried about it.
Be swarming. So narratively, this is kind of like the ending stretch. You get onto the transport, get the hell out of there. Thankfully, the explosion you caused was enough to kind of throw things into disarray. You go back to Fort Refuge, Castle Refuge, and kind of decompress with everything. But the coalition, the state of Lone Star has been dealt a black eye for what has happened. Bradford definitely has a lot to answer for, even though he's kind of probably not going to have to own up to a lot. That's just kind of how the upper structure is. By the way, you took Doc Farrell with you, is that right?
Correct.
yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be
yeah.
something to deal with. He will have a lot of valuable information, potentially. And now, in the kind of epilogue of all of this, Tevis and Gloria have decided that they want to reunite back up in the satellites. And they're interested in, A, trying to make sure that none of the satellite business gets into the wrong hands so they can actively do that from up there. B, they can be together forever in a kind of digital harmonized union. And C, they're going to do what they can to ensure that at least the two Archies that they know of, the machine intelligences, are not going to plot or scheme anything terrible. So that is kind of that the end of their narrative arc. They, as long as you all give them the assistance to do so, they re-upload themselves to the satellite so that they cannot be used by anyone on the ground to mess with anything. Although Maynard, they do give you a secret code that will allow you to control, at least to a degree, a spy satellite. So this is going to give you kind of like a Google Earth view, which nobody else has.
And what about the doctor that was not in when we went to when we found the chick wired up? What?
Dr. Bradford, like, he just wasn't there at that time, so he's still he's still back there. He's still in charge of the Lone Star state.
So that's kind of a loose end we have.
Yeah, there's all kinds of loose ends, and I'm kind of making it all like kind of loosey-goosey because you're not likely to come back to these specific characters unless you fell in love with your character, and that's what you want to come back to. I know some of you are like, no, I want a new character, and maybe some of you want to come back to whatever you made, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But that was kind of what I wanted to kind of close it out. Like, there's a lot of questions still. If we come back, these events will have happened, so you can kind of reckon with those things.
Okay, are you going to keep track of where we're at if we come back?
Yes.
Like, you'll know, you'll be able to tell us that these events happen. Because again, you guys, I've been lazy with recapping for a couple weeks.
Oh, you're good.
In the school.
No worries whatsoever.
I promise when we get back to D&D, I'll recap again.
You're all good. You're all good, Jen.
I think the important thing to remember is that Ron Borg is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Died in his
he sacrificed.
Ron Borg, yes.
Remember that? Can we recap that for him when
Oh yeah.
The only thing you need to know is you are dead.
And we did all find out that he did have a warrant out for his arrest for white collar high crimes.
Yeah.
That's right. Some kind of tax evasion.
Right.
No, when he asks about it next time, I'm just gonna post a link to like the Demon Souls game over screen. Just you die.
this was a great storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
this
want to
was
come.
fun.
I want to come
And
back
I
to
like
this
the
storyline.
whole, I like the Rifts universe. Like I said, so I would be interested in definitely coming back to this someday, but this drove me nuts. I mean, even just tonight, I was starting to see stuff like when you don't build your own character and it's this complicated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the hell any of these things are that she can do. So
Right. I think I really wanted it to be a 2-shot, and I would have compressed the story. But with a 4-shot and pre-generated characters, I think I would rethink that next time of being like, no, make your own.
Yeah, I'd be actually super down to even create our own characters, and if we have just a session like this to ask questions, really
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
something out.
Totally. I am really digging Savage Worlds as a game system, and I'm already having ideas for what to do with it.
well, I have to say, when it's not Rifts, which is very complicated and has its own thing, I do have to admit, I keep teasing Wade that I'm like, dude, your whole point is that it's so streamlined, but I'm playing this incredibly complicated game. But honestly, when you play Savage Worlds normally, you really can create any world. You can have anything happen. And it is pretty streamlined. Like, it always works the same way with pace and parry and toughness and the way that you build edges and everything. And it really always is, you roll this plus the D6, things explode.
Yeah.
This is how you calculate damage. This is how you you roll this to use your power to activate it. Like, it really is, only because now I've played like 3 different games in Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
Really is pretty straightforward now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, sorry if you wanted to wrap this up, Ish, or anything, but so next week, are we planning to go back into the D&D universe?
Yes. So I don't know if you've gotten the emails that I've sent out, but we're going to go into the Palladium Fantasy universe, which is kind of Rifts adjacent, but it's going to be with 5th edition D&D because it just works with the fantasy setting and everything.
Yeah, and I saw that you wanted us to have a curse. So do you want us to send you that? Or,
Yeah, please do. Or just, if you just come up with it between now and next week, then I'll have everyone introduce their characters and we'll kind of go through it like that. And then you can tell me, oh, this is my character. This is what's up with him. And then also this is the curse I picked.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
Luke, I was inspired by Bill, and I think I want to be a lizard folk blood hunter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm going a swashbuckler rogue, and his curse is going to be that he's a kleptomaniac in love with gold.
Nice.
Can't wait to steal from merchants and see what happens.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work out great.
It all goes over well is the short answer.
Well, if I can get away with it, and I'll need your help.
I smell a heist in the works.
Yeah.
But let's see. So yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say about the game today is Rifts is the definition of a kitchen sink role-playing game for the setting.
Yeah.
You can be a dragon, you can be a power armor pilot, you can be a magician, you could be I don't think they have it in this version of the game, but like in the original version, you could be a bum. You could literally be a vagabond. And so it's just be whatever the hell you want to be, and like machines and technology and magic and demons. Like there's just as many things as you can have. So I think that does add to the like the complexity of Savage Worlds, of being just like it has to adapt to all of these things all at once, which is fun because that's the setting, but also it is much more complicated because you're dealing with like this kind of genre gazpacho that you just throw a bunch of stuff into a pot and hope it comes out tasting good. Usually it does. But so that there you have it. That was the Satellite of Love, which was my short novella adventure. I started kind of thinking of the idea for this, and I started getting like these impish ideas to throw in Mystery Science Theater 3000 references. So Tevis Francois was just cleverly like misnamed TV's Frank.
Oh,
Nice.
God. I definitely didn't catch that. I mean, I've seen that show.
But I mean, I didn't inject too much of the humor into it. I just thought that was my starting point of being like, wait, he's coming from the satellites to find love. It's a love. And I was thinking of doing even more with that if we kind of went in a different direction, but I thought this was a good way to wrap everything up pretty well.
No,
but I'm glad that you all enjoyed that little vignette. For the Palladium Fantasy D&D game, you all will be kind of huddled into a cursed land in the Old Kingdoms. That'll make more sense when I kind of explain it all. But you're basically living in a decrepit elven village, kind of like a Ewok style, but like if you can imagine, all the trees are dead, but you can still, like, there's still buildings inside of the tree. You can kind of sort of live, but it's not much of a living. The land is cursed and you all are cursed. And there is a hag queen who has cursed you. And she is basically like the connective tissue between all of you, because she has cursed all of you in turn. Whether you were all in the same place at the same time or you were in disparate places, you were all cursed by her in some way, shape, or form, and came together in this cursed valley that has attracted you because of the curse, basically, like a big curse magnet. And you all now need to figure out in some way, shape, or form how to get rid of the curse. And if you are so compelled, to get your revenge on the Hag Queen.
Oh.
And okay. And Jen, you said you're a lizard folk? Is that what you're going with?
I think I want to be a lizard folk blood hunter. Yeah.
Blood hunters are dope.
That's why I loved Bill, and I thought it was really interesting the way you have to also balance your hit points because you're always bleeding yourself to enact the curses.
Oh yeah, he definitely shops at Hot Topic.
And I think I moved towards that because of the idea that we're going to be in a cursed world, like we're going to be cursed.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, if my character can also curse, and we met lizard folk so again, my other party is in this world.
Oh, nice.
But it's not going to be crossing, but we met lizard folk and I thought they were cool. So
right on.
Like we thought we were going to like have a huge fight with them. And then we ended up being able to communicate and like just helping them out and helping them find their way.
And you always have to talk like this.
Well, but they turned out to be far more benign and they were just cool. Like they were just nice and lost and we helped them. So that kind of made me feel empathetic toward them. So
I always have this I grew up playing a little game called EverQuest, and they had a race called the Iskar, and they were like hated by everybody. Like that's just like how they started. They're evil in general. So I always have that like picture of them anytime there's a lizard folk in any game, even like Skyrim. I'm always like, oh, these guys are bad news no matter what.
Right.
Awesome. Is this where we say au revoir to Seamus for a bit then?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm out for a bit.
Wow, buddy.
That'll be good. I'll come back.
You'll be missed, but yes, absolutely. The seat will be there at the table when you're ready to come back.
Cool. Sounds like fun. You guys are gonna have a blast.
Well, and you're gonna get to be the person that comes in like when everyone's level 8, and you're gonna like, you're gonna see all the cool stuff that they've done, and they're gonna have to explain their exploits to you.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Cool, guys.
All right, so we can keep on talking. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed everything that has happened so far. For those of you who have watched, will watch, so on and so forth. But we now conclude, we will call it episode 4 of 4 of Savage Worlds Rifts, Satellite of Love. Stay tuned next week on Monday for, we will call it the Cursed Fens of the Old Kingdoms. And then don't forget to join us tomorrow for the War Drums of Mount Nimro, and then join me on Thursday as I continue playing Castlevania 4. All right, y'all.